Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jai Gurudeva, Om Jnanatimirandasya, Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurunmilitamena, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, Stapitam Yena Bhutale, Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तों नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारणे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Excuse me. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome back to our weekly Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today we will be discussing from Madhya Lila 21st chapter, text number 84 onwards. I'll just share my screen.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत, हरे कृष्ण। So, CC Madhya 21.84. So, now this particular chapter is entitled The Opulences of Lord Shri Krishna and His Abode. So, the previous shlokas explained how the vastness and the magnanimity of the spiritual world. So, still after hearing of Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami describing so much, and so much we hearing also, because we have limited brains and limited understanding capacity, still it remains a mystery to us. But nonetheless, at least if we have deepening in the core of our heart, if we have taken that fact that it is a really magnanimous place, a very opulent place and very special, and some that kind of a love or that kind of awe and reverence if we have developed for that particular abode and Lord Shri Krishna, then that is also a great achievement for us. And so in detail, to quite a detailed extent, Krishraj Kaviraj Goswami has explained the how exactly the spiritual world is, where is Krishna Loka, and where are the other abodes, Dwarka Dham, Mathura Dham, Ayodhya Dham, then the Vaikuntha planets, and then the Viraja river, and then our material world, and how the spiritual world is three-fourths of all the creation, and how material world is just one-fourth. And this one-fourth only, it is so inconceivable for us when we see the galaxy, when we see the kind of things happening in the sky or in the land, we cannot comprehend. And the entire spiritual world is just one-fourth, and three-fourths is the entire material world is just one-fourth, and the spiritual world comprises of the three-fourth of the entire existence, entire cosmos, like that. So that way it is very glorious and very big and very something which is unimaginable for us. But through shastras we can have an idea of what is actually, how they are situated, how insignificant we are, but how beautiful the Lord's creation is, and in our insignificant life how it is still complete, and how everybody can in that tiny jivas which we are, we feel that we have so much to do in this life and so much to achieve, and there is so much of concept of happiness, misery, then pride, and so many things we are achieving in our small insignificant life. Like that, every jiva is also experiencing, so right from ant to humans, and in humans also from beggars to kings, everybody is experiencing so much of complications in each everybody's life. So then what is that Lord Shri Krishna who is creating such kind of means, what is his magnanimity? So we can only just place our head at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and beg for his mercy. And by his mercy only, to some extent, at least we can understand Lord Shri Krishna. And now in these descriptions, we understood that there is a question of us getting bewildered. Even Lord Brahma was once bewildered. And one instance, Krishnaraj Kaviraj Goswami explains that when Lord Brahmaji goes to Goloka Vrindavan, and then he wants to meet Krishna, and then the doorkeeper comes and asks which Brahma, and then Brahma was really bewildered. Brahma, which Brahma? I am the only Brahma. What is it? Brahma means me only, na? Who else? Then he says, oh, Chaturmukha Brahma, four-headed Brahma. Then Brahma goes inside. At that time, Krishna calls for all other Brahmas, and there were one-headed, 10-headed, 50, 20, 100,000-headed Brahmas are also existing. And everybody arrives, and our four-headed Brahma understood that how insignificant he himself was, because his universe which he is managing, in which we are living, is reasonable size, so he has only four-headed. That means so much vast more other universes are, that time they have 8, 12, 20 and 1,000-headed Brahmas also. And that humbled our Brahma actually, and he understood that there is no question of being proud in any level. In every level we can only remain sincere and humble, and only with that kind of attitude we can always serve Krishna. So there is no question of being proud in for any reason actually. So even Brahma was tested that way, and all the Brahmas, they offered their obeisances. And the speciality of Lord Krishna is whoever approaches him with love and sincerity, everybody feels that special love for themselves. And every Brahma thought that Krishna has come to, he is so much concerned about me, and he knows exactly what I am doing, and he shares his love with me. And with that kind of happiness, they all go back. So then now the description is going on, with the discussion with Krishna and the four-headed Brahma is still going on, and we are in 21.84. And in these today's section which we are going to take, it is more and more description of Krishna's opulence, Krishna's beauty, Krishna's magnanimity, where we can only try as much as possible to relish it and acknowledge it through humility, and be very grateful that we are able to have such kind of high information, high knowledge, high uh, understanding about the spiritual world, and we are really in a fortunate position in that way. So let's begin our session. Arun Gupta Prabhuji, 21.84.
Mataji, 1 second, small interruption, sorry.
Yes, yes, yes.
ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ತಮಗೆ?
Yes, 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 yes.
ಮತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬಂತು. ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತ ಅತಿ ಸಣ್ಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣವನು, ಬೃಹತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಬೃಹತ್ತು ಕೂಡ ಹೌದು.
Yes.
ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ
ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. I can't hear now. I can't hear now. Prabhuji, I cannot hear. Okay, Prabhuji, what we will do is we will start this session.
ಆಯ್ತು ಓಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಓಕೆ
Aita, we will start this session. At the end, 5 minutes, bega 2:55, we will stop, and that time we will answer all these questions. Okay, now.
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Arun Gupta Prabhuji, 21.84.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। कृष्ण कहे ए ब्रह्मांडा 50 कोटि योजना, अति शुद्रा ताते तोमा चारी वंदना। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna said, your particular universe has a diameter of 4 billion miles. Therefore, it is the smallest of all the universes. Consequently, you have only 4 heads. Shall I read purport, Mataji, also?
Yes, yes.
Purport: Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, one of the greatest astrologers of his time, gives information from the Siddhanta Shiromani that this universe measures
Understood, big number.
some number, Mataji,
Yeah.
into 8 miles. This is the circumference of this universe. According to some, this is only half the circumference.
Now, if it is half or if it is full, also it is big. It's very huge. It's very huge. So only because he wrote Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati wrote the Surya Siddhanta, some call it as a Siddhanta Shiromani. He wrote the Surya Siddhanta, so he is called as a Siddhanta Shiromani, the crown jewel of all the understanding, Siddhanta Shiromani. And so his name was also given Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, like that. In his time, he was means the greatest astrologer, not only his time, for all time to come. And so it is told that the information now our Srimad Bhagavatam also tells it's 4 billion miles. Maybe when we multiply, divide, it all comes almost to same number. Thing is, everything is there in our Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a complete text. It is not that something haphazard, something is written, some stories, and we go and believe. It's not like that. It's complete, very much complete actually it is. And it not only gives information, it also transforms our lives. So that way it is how it is so complete. So here what it is told is the point is Krishna is telling to our Brahma that because your universe has only this much limited, for us that only is very unlimited number, that because it is just 4 billion miles, you have only 4 heads to manage that universe. That means 1,000-headed Brahma, what would be his universe? So means something we just cannot even comprehend. So that way our Brahma was really humbled, but because they are great devotees, no, that humility transfers to more. They don't become arrogant and they don't become why Krishna is telling me like that. They immediately surrender and immediately take shelter, and immediately that is the reason they get complete mercy of the Supreme Lord. In any situation which we are put in, sometimes managing small things, or something, we may fall short of our knowledge or we may fall short of our understanding, but immediately if we humble ourselves and seek guidance and seek the understanding and not become very arrogant, that itself grabs the mercy of attention of the Lord. And also the senior devotees, whoever whom we are approaching or whom we are rendering service or some dealings, immediately when we humble ourselves and sincerely we try to understand things, automatically things fall in place, instead of becoming very arrogant and like I know everything. And even we know that we don't know anything, still we want to put up a face that we know everything. All these things when we do, it doesn't last long. Only when we're actually humble and sincere in our approach, no, then automatically things manifest in a very positive way. Swati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। कोना ब्रह्मांड शतकोटि कोना लक्ष कोटि कोना नियुत कोटि कोना कोटि कोटि। Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki. Some of the universes are 1 billion yojanas in diameter, some are 1 trillion, and some 10 trillion, and some 100 trillion yojanas. Thus, they are almost unlimited in area. Hare Krishna Mataji.
A yojana equals 8 miles. Like that, Prabhupada says. So that previous number, we had a big number into 8 we had, because that means yojanas. One yojana is 8 miles. So, like that. Only that number also we cannot by heart. Like that it is. Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम ब्रह्म ब्रह्मांड ब्रह्मांडन रूप ब्रह्मार सूत्रवदन यही रूपे पालियामि ब्रह्मांडे गण translation by divine grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the size of the universe, there are so many heads on the body of Brahma. In this way, I maintain innumerable universes, Brahmandas. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari. Next, Sudha over, no? Sumati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम
Dandavats.
एक पाद विभूति विहारा नाही परिमाणा त्रिपाद विभूति रखे भाकरे परिमाणा. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No one can measure the length and breadth of the 1/4 of my energy manifested in the material world. Who then can measure the 3/4 that is manifested in the spiritual world?
Very natural, very correct. Because if it is 4 billion, if you say, if it is 4 billion or 400 billion or 1 billion, we cannot measure. Suppose somebody measures also, then it is not possible to get the accurate measurement of the entire material creation, because it's not just about the earth, it's the 14 planetary systems which we have. And for somebody should be able to go there. So it is kind of impossible it is. And that is 1/4 part of the whole creation. Then the remainder is a 3/4. So how is it possible? Let Krishna himself is telling. That is not possible. Just we have to surrender. Because many things, nothing we know actually. We simply think that we know many things, but what we know is very little here, there, some dots. And that only is making us so proud. Chandana Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम
Dandavats.
तस्यापारे तस्यापारे परव्योमा त्रिपाद्भूतं सनातनम् अमृतं शाश्वतं नित्यम् अनन्तं परमं पदम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Beyond the river Viraja is a spiritual nature which is indestructible, eternal, inexhaustible, and unlimited. It is the supreme abode consisting of 3/4 of the Lord's opulences. It is also known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is a verse from the Padma Purana quoted here by Lord Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Haribol.
So across the Vedanta literatures, no, this is not just about the Srimad Bhagavatam, Padma Purana, and there are so many 18 Puranas, 180 Upanishads. Across various Puranas, also the same truth has been established, because Prabhupada knows that we cannot read through all the books. So for us, primary books have been given, like the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, like that, Nectar of Devotion, like that basic 4 books at least they have given, so that you understand the Krishna Tattva, then Krishna's devotees, the greatness of Krishna's devotees, like in Srimad Bhagavatam, then the devotional service essence, that is in Nectar of Devotion. So these 4 books essentially Prabhupada has given to us. But across the various Puranas and different Vedic literatures, the same truth has been re-established. It is not that something that Prabhupada has told, and now we are telling to the whole world. But through Prabhupada we got to know, but they are always existing, and we did not have access. And by Prabhupada's mercy we have got access, but the point remains, truth is, it is not something created by Prabhupada, it's already existing in the different literatures. And so here it is told that by the 1/4, that material creation and the spiritual world is separated by the Viraja river, and the spiritual world is beyond the river Virija, is a spiritual nature which is indestructible, eternal, inexhaustible, unlimited. Any more adjectives you can add, everything fits there. And it is a supreme abode, 3/4 of the Lord's opulences. It is known as Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. And our material universes, time and again, it gets destructed and it gets annihilated, it gets created again. and every day of Brahma and during the lifetime of Brahma, there are various ways it gets annihilated and created. But the spiritual world is indestructible, eternal, inexhaustible, unlimited. This has been told also in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna Murti Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
ताबे कृष्ण ब्रह्मेरा दिलेन विदया कृष्णेर विभूति स्वरूप जननया. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. In this way, Lord Krishna had farewell to the four-headed Brahma of this universe. We may thus understand that no one can calculate the extent of Krishna's
Energy. So Brahma had come,
energy.
he understood. If Brahma had come four-headed, Brahma had come, he clearly understood what his position is. Then Krishna gives him the understanding and then he goes back. Bhuvana Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी.
Dandavat.
त्रयाधीश्वर शब्देर अत गुण आरहय त्रिशब्दे कृष्णेर तीना लोकाकाय. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is a very deep meaning in the word Tri Adishwara, which indicates that Krishna possesses three different lokas or natures. Purport also, Mataji?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Tri Adishwara means proprietor of the three worlds. There are three worlds and Krishna is the supreme proprietor of them all. This is explained by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam nyatva mam shantim richati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. The word Sarvaloka means all three worlds, and the word Maheshwara means the supreme proprietor. Krishna is the proprietor of both the material and the spiritual world. The spiritual world is divided into two portions, Goloka Vrindavan and the Vaikunthas. The material world is a combination of universes unlimited in number. Haribol, thank you, Mataji.
So the three worlds means the spiritual world, which has two parts, Goloka Vrindavan and the Vaikunthas, and we have the material material universe, material world, which has unlimited universes, and that's something which is so hard for us to comprehend only. And Sarvaloka, the point for us to take back home is Bhoktaram Yajnatapasa Sarvalokamesha. The Sarvaloka, the entire thing that exists, from smallest thing to the biggest thing to the thing which we understand, when we don't understand, everything. There is nothing which is unknown to Krishna. There is nothing which is not under the control of Krishna, and there is nothing which can happen like without Krishna's knowledge or nothing. Every nook and corner is has Krishna's under Krishna's control only. And when we understand that truth very clearly, that is, person if knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerities, anything we just please Krishna. Ultimate beneficiary is Krishna. Beneficiary, we know when we credit some money to the bank, then we tell that person to whom we credit is beneficiary, who is the ultimate person who gets the money. So the entire existence means whatever we do, the ultimate beneficiary is Lord Krishna only, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods. So everything that exists, the supreme lord and the benefactor and the well-wisher of all living entities. If we know he is my best friend, and he is my best well-wisher, and he's the cause of all causes, and my goal is just to please him. If that enters our core of our heart and our understanding and our dealings, then we are always at supreme peace. There is no more material anxiety, there is no more getting fearful or arrogance. It's all just peaceful, but just that it is easy to tell and very hard to practice, but this is the essence of all the reality. This is the truth. This is the core truth. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Padma Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
Yes.
गोलोका क्या गोकुल मथुरा द्वारावती हे तीना लोके कृष्णेरा साहाजे नित्य स्थिति. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The three lokas are Gokula, that is Goloka, Mathura, and Dwaraka. Krishna lives eternally in these three places. Prophet Dr. Mataji?
Yes.
Prophet by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura comments that in the Goloka planet there are three divisions: Gokula, Mathura, and Dwaraka. In his incarnation as Gaura Sundara, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord, conducts his pastimes in three areas: Navadvipa, Jagannath Puri, and South India, and Vijay the area of Vrindavan Dham. Thank you, Mataji.
Vraja Mandala. Thing is, when we call the three worlds, it is spiritual world, two parts, and material world. Also, now is that the geographical, there is no typical fixed three means what. The point is, entire thing of entire existence is under Krishna's control only. But here it is referenced as the three lokas are Gokula, Mathura, and Dwaraka. Bhakti, that is, see, now Krishna lives eternally in these three places, means Krishna descends now here. Now we know, no, Krishna descended, and like 5,000 years back. So whenever he descends, also still his Lila is continuing. It is not that he is not there. That place is Kali there. Krishna is not there. Krishna has come down. It's not like that. So something very hard to comprehend, but that is a reality. So he is eternally existing. He never steps out of these places, is what is been told here. And Sri Bhakti says comments that in the Goloka planet there are three divisions. That is Gokula, Mathura, and Dwaraka. In that we have a Mathura. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he descends, his pastimes happened in Navadvipa Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, and South India also, because 2 years he traveled to South India, and Vrajamandala, Vrindavan, because 2 months he had stayed in Vrindavan. 2 years he traveled to South India regions, and he spent 18 years in Jagannath Puri, and 18 years in Jagannath Puri, and 24 years in Navadvipta. So these are his areas, his pastime places. Puri, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan, and South India also. Like that. Bonamati.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Antaranga Purneshwarya Purna Dina Dama Tinera Adishwara Krishnam Swayam Bhagavan. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. These three places are full of internal potencies, and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is their sole proprietor. Haribol, thank you, Mataji.
Haribol, Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी प्रणाम से पूर्व उक्त ब्रह्मांडेर यत दिक्पाला अनंत वैकुंठा वर्ण चिरलोकपाला तन्सभार मुकुट कृष्ण पाद पितागे दंडवत कले तार मणि पिते लगे. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. As previously mentioned, the jewels on the helmets of all the predominating deities of all the universes and Vaikuntha planets touched the throne and the lotus feet of the Lord when those deities all offered obeisances. Thank
So
you,
we know
Mataji.
that when Krishna called for all the Brahmas come down from various places, and they had the big helmets, and the 1,000-headed means so many helmets, like ton it became, and they all with the jewels on the helmets. They all, when they offered obeisances, deities of all the universe and Vaikuntha touched the throne and lotus feet of the Lord when these deities offered obeisances. That they are talking about those Brahmas who had come. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
मणिपीठे काथे की उठे जनजनी पीठे रस्तुति करे मुकुट है नानुमणि. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When the gems on the helmets of all the predominating deities collided before the throne and the Lord's lotus feet, there was a jingling sound which seemed like prayers offered by the helmets at Krishna's lotus feet. Hare
When they
Krishna.
offered, when that sound came, it was as though they are offering prayers at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Parameshwari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
निज चिक शक्ति कृष्ण नित्य व्रजमाना शक्ति संवत्रे सदा ऐश्वर्य नामा
Nijachi Shakti Krishna Nitya Virajamana. You want to repeat?
निज चित्त शक्ति कृष्ण
Krishna
नित्य व्रजमाना
Virajamana.
व्रजमाना
Chit Sampattira
चित शक्ति
Shadaishwarya Nama.
चित शक्ति संवत्रे सदा ऐश्वर्य नामा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Translation.
Okay, Mother. Krishna is thus situated internally in his spiritual potency, and the opulences of that spiritual potency is called
Shadaishwarya.
Vaishya, indicating 6 kinds of opulences.
So he is, it is 6 kind of opulences, means we know that opulence of fame, beauty, renunciation. So all the Shadaishwar. So Shadaishwarya Purnam is complete, all varieties of opulences. So he is the Shadaishwarya Purna Bhagavan. Krishna is the Shadaishwarya Purna Bhagavan. So he is eternally situated in his spiritual potency, always filled with Shadaishwarya. Is what that is a way of glorifying Krishna. Actually, the entire verses which we have read, and furthermore, is the glorification of the opulences of Lord Shri Krishna. Chandana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. से स्वराज्य लक्ष्मी करे नित्य पूर्ण कामा आते व वेदे का है स्वयं भगवान. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because he possesses the spiritual potencies which fulfill all his desires, Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the Vedic version. Thank you,
The
Mataji.
point is, those who, if we consider, if we claim ourselves to be God, we don't want God to be God, but I want to be God, then we should possess all the spiritual potencies. We should be Shad Aishwarya Purna. So that, in that way only we can claim ourselves to be God. Otherwise, we cannot tell anybody. So any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot claim himself to be God. God means Shad Aishwarya Purna, the supreme proprietor of all that exists. If that is possible, then they can be God. Krishna is God that way. Krishna accepts supreme personality of God. This is the Vedic version. This is the Vedic truth. So only through Vedic literatures only we can consider who is God, who is not God, and if he is God, what are his lakshanas, what is his abode, how does he appear. All these descriptions are there in the Vedic literatures. And so someone cannot be God, cannot call himself God, nor anybody else can say that I consider this personality as God. That is not possible. By that we don't reach anywhere. We can do some time pass, but we don't reach anywhere. Yeah, anybody else? Krishnamurti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. कृष्णेर ऐश्वर्य अपर अमृत सिंधु अवघतिये नारी तारा चुलिय एक बिंदु. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The unlimited potencies of Krishna are just like an ocean of nectar. Since one cannot bathe within the ocean, I have only touched a drop of it. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is so sweet. He is telling that it's impossible to describe all the opulences of Krishna and the greatness and magnanimity and the beauty and the potency of Krishna is not possible. So he's like, it is like an ocean of nectar, ocean of sweetness, but I've just touched a drop of it like that. So sometimes if we go somewhere and we have experienced so much joy and we have seen this, that, and then it was so much beautiful, that festival, and then I saw like this also. everything. If we want to, we come back and want to explain something, then that full joy 100% we cannot explain. We can say, see this, then we say no, but then it was so beautiful, everything was very beautiful, and then we went there, and then how much I can tell, I'm not able to tell you completely. So that is a very silly example for us. That also, if a 2-day trip, if you have gone and really explain, like Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra, if you have gone, every detail of everything what we saw, it is impossible to explain to anybody else. We can try to tell something. So, but then we say that that and all really you have to experience. Like, I can only tell so much. But here he's talking about the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord, his opulence, his beauty. He has explained so much. We have tried to read so much, and we little we understood. So he's telling this is just a drop of nectar. It is like an ocean of nectar. I'm trying to tell something here, there, and which is just I'm touching a drop of it. So just imagine what is that Krishna, and that Krishna, Prabhupada has given us access to that that Krishna through the process of Krishna consciousness. How grateful we should be and how blessed we are actually. Bona Mataji. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Pranam.
ऐश्वर्य काहिते प्रभुर कृष्ण स्तुति हैलम माधुर्ये मजिला मना एक श्लोक पढ़िला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was describing the opulences and the spiritual potencies of Krishna in this way, there was an awakening of love of Krishna within him. His mind became immersed in the sweetness of conjugal love, and he quoted the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Haribol, thank you, Mataji.
And here now the discussion is between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, and Krishna's opulences Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining to Sanatana Goswami. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explained, that has been decoded and written by Krishna Kaviraj Goswami. This is the whole the context that is happening. And Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is writing that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining the beauty and opulences of Lord Shri Krishna, spiritual love was awakening in his heart. Now, Mahaprabhu is not different from Krishna, but he is taken the role of a devotee. So, in that concept, his love of Krishna was awakening within him. But the beauty of Krishna consciousness is when we all sincerely understand here, relish, and we follow the path of Krishna consciousness, that love of Krishna, the Krishna prema, can awaken in our heart also. So the process is so potent that Krishna prema, which has been written here, can awaken in our heart also. And we as practicing devotees, Nirantara, always we may not be what you say, swimming in the Krishna prema, but nonetheless, the point that we are able to continue in this process means that here, there, somewhere we have got that glimpse of Krishna prema. We may not be, means during kirtans or during some festival, somewhere that deep sense of Krishna prema has touched our heart. So that momentary bliss we have all experienced, that bliss is something that is we are able to sustain in this process. We may not be 24/7 because we are still practicing practitioners, but nonetheless, that Krishna Prema is so potent that it has touched everybody's heart sometime or the other. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranam. यन्मर्त्य लीलौ वैकं स्वयोग माया बलं दर्शयता गृहीतं विस्मापनं स्वस्य च सौभगर्दे परम पदम भूषणं भूषणांगम. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To exhibit the strength of his own spiritual potency, Lord Krishna manifested a form just suitable for his pastimes in the material world. This form was wonderful even for him and was the supreme abode of the wealth of good fortune. Its limbs were so beautiful that they increased the beauty of the ornaments worn on different parts of his body. Purport Mataji?
Yes.
Okay, purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.2.12 is stated in a conversation between Vidura and Uddhava. Uddhava thus begins his description of the pastimes of Sri Krishna in his form exhibited by Yogamaya. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So, this Vidura Yuddha description happens third canto, second chapter, it is told here, at 12th verse. conversation with Vidura and Uttara. This is Vidura was traveling after the Mahabharata or during the Mahabharata when he was completely insulted by Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. Vidura comes out and goes on a pilgrimage and he meets Maitreya Muni. And then what happens is then there was a discussion, and actually this Maitreya Muni, there was a discussion between Uddhava and Krishna. And Krishna Uddhava were talking. Maitreya Muni happened to be there, and so this knowledge Uddhava says that Vidura should hear from Maitreya rather than me. So in that conversation, there was a time when Vidura and Uddhava also speaks, but later Vidura hears in detail the conversation, many things from Maitreya Muni directly. But in between Vidura and Uddhava, there was a conversation. This was after the Lila of Krishna in this material world actually. So at that time, Vidura and Uddhava meets. That time Uddhava tells to exhibit the strength of his own spiritual Lord manifested his forms suitable for his pastimes in this material world. And this form was wonderful even for him and was the supreme abode of the wealth of good fortune. Its limbs are so beautiful that they increase the beauty of. So he was before that discussion, he's just beginning to explain the beauty of the appearance of Lord Krishna, where he is telling that he appeared in such a beautiful form in this material world that the ornaments which decorated his limbs increased their beauty simply because they were decorating the limbs of Lord Shri Krishna. When we wear ornaments, why do we wear ornaments? Because we want to beautify ourselves. For that, we wear all this, whatever it is, so that we feel that I am not looking good now. By wearing those ornaments, I may appear good like that. That's what we are thinking. But when it comes to Krishna, the ornaments become more beautiful simply because they're sitting on the body, on the limbs. They're decorating the limbs of Krishna. So the ornaments become beautiful. There is no question of beautifying the limbs of Krishna. Krishna's limbs are already very beautiful. And the ornaments, they beautify themselves by their existence on Krishna's body. Like that. Something very hard to understand. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Krishnera yatte ka khela sarvotama. Mataji, can you just Nara. Krishnera yatte ka khela sarvotama nara lila nara vaputahar. Another tune, I think. Krishnera yate ka khela sarvotama nara lila nara vaputahara swarupa. Gopa Vesha Venukara Nava Kishora Natavara Nara Lilara Haya Anurupa. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastimes as a human being are the best. His form as a human being is the supreme transcendental form. In this form, he is a cowherd boy. He carries a flute in his hand and his youth is new. He is also an expert dancer. All this is just suitable for his pastimes as a human being.
So we know the beauty of Krishna is Leelas as Makhan Chor. He's playing with his cowherd boys. He's loving affairs with his gopi friends. All this, so much it attracts our heart because that cuteness, that beauty, that Venu which he's carrying and the peacock feather and how the peacocks and the cows, they're all around him and they go to the forest. All these pastimes and his beauty and his look and his charming face and how his Mother Yashoda is cuddling him and loving him and all the elderly gopis love him so dearly, and all these things so much simply attract our heart. They simply attract our heart. So in this material world, when he's taking his form, he has put himself in such a beautiful form that attracts the heart of everybody. And he has innumerable forms. In that, his form which he takes when he's performing his pastimes as a human being is the most best of all. Because we as human beings can connect so well with him because he appears as the fish incarnation, also tortoise incarnation, also boar incarnation also. And his Leela avatars as like unlimited waves in the ocean. There is no few of them only we know. But in all that, he has appeared as Krishna is the most attractive. Bhuvana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. Krishnera madhura rupa suna sanatana ei rupera eka kana dubhaya sabhatribhuvana sarva prani kare akarshana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Sanatana, the sweet, attractive, transcendental form of Krishna is so nice. Just try to understand it. Even a fractional understanding of Krishna's beauty can merge all three worlds into the ocean of love. He attracts all living entities within the three worlds. Haribol, thank you, Mataji.
Just even a fractional understanding of Krishna's beauty means what we know is very little only. That itself can give us internal some kind of happiness and bliss and something to look forward. So otherwise it is so attractive when we completely meditate on that. So no, the rishis, the in the way like Rup Sanatan and all, they were telling they used to meditate and they could relish the Krishna's form and pastimes in their meditation. They were able to see it live. So so they were experiencing all the time so much of bliss. And we try to experience bliss from the material things and we are frustrated. But when we are completely Krishna conscious, that bliss what we want to experience is directly with Krishna, that we are always happy. The point that we are not always happy because we are seeking happiness somewhere else other than Krishna. Next one. योगमाया चित्शक्ति विशुद्ध सत्व परिणति तार शक्ति लोके देखा इते. No, this is different tune. Anybody wants to try? ऐ रूप रतन भक्त गणेर गूढ़ धन प्रकट कैला नित्य लीला हैते. The transcendental form of Krishna is shown to the world by Lord Krishna's internal spiritual energy, which is a transformation of pure goodness. This jewel-like form is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. This form is manifested from Krishna's eternal pastimes. So it is manifestation of Krishna's internal energy. So which is Shuddha Sattva. The pure goodness means Shuddha Sattva. So this is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. Only the pure devotees of the Lord can understand this, experience this, and actually relish them. Only the pure devotees, his Nitya Siddha Bhaktas, can actually understand him in 100% full. Otherwise, the atheist or the envious people, they cannot relate only. We as sadhana bhaktas, we can try to understand, relate, and experience here, there, something. But the Nitya Siddha Bhaktas, the eternal devotees of the Lord, can relish it fully by the mercy of Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
little bit scroll. Hare Krishna Mataji. रूप देखी आपनरा कृष्ण रहैल चमत्कार आवादिते आस्वादिते माने उते कामा स्वयं भोग्य स्वसौभाग्य यंत्र नामा सौंदर्यादि गुण ग्राम ये रूप नित्यतार धाम. Scroll Mataji.
Yeah.
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The wonderful form of Krishna in his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the 6 opulences of Krishna. He is eternally situated in his opulences.
So Shadaishwarya Purna, when you say these are the Shadaishwaryas, beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation, are his 6 opulences, Shadaishwarya, and is completely filled in that Shadaishwarya. Okay, purport read Prabhuji.
Let us scroll Mataji.
Yeah, this only. Yes, this is the starting.
Krishna has many pastimes, which his pastimes in Goloka Vrindavana, the Goloka Lila, are supreme. He also has pastimes in the Vaikunthas, the spiritual world. He has Vasudeva, Sankarshana.
Vasudeva is father, Vasudeva is son.
The spiritual world as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. In his pastimes, in the material sky, he lies down in the casual ocean of Karnodakshai, the Purusha Avatara. His incarnations as a fish, tortoise, and so on are called as casual incarnations.
Causal incarnations, not
Causal
casual.
incarnations. He incarnates in the modes of nature as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. He also incarnates as empowered living entities like Prutu and Vyasa. The supersoul is localized incarnation and is all perceive aspect in the
Pervasive.
pervasive aspect in the impersonal Brahman.
1 minute. So we know this is the Chaturviha avatars, that is Vasudeva, Sankara, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then we know that Karana, this Purushavatas, that is Karanodaksha Vishnu, Purushavatas. Then you have the Lila avatars, that is Matsya, Kurma, etc. That is causal incarnations, that is Lila avatars. Then you have the Shaktiyavesha, Guna avatars, that is the Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. Then you have the Shaktiyavesha avatars, that is Pratonvya. So all this in detail, there is already, we have last chapter, 20 chapters complete about this only. So in short, this has been explained again by Prabhupada. Next paragraph.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When we consider impartially all the unlimited pastimes of the Lord, we find that his pastimes as a human being on this planet, wherein he sports as a covered boy with a flute in his hands and appears useful and fresh like a ballet dancer.
Dance. Yeah. Prabhupada is also so beautiful when he is explaining ballet dancer. Okay.
Are pastimes and features that are never subjected to material laws and inverities. The wonderful beauty of Krishna is presented in the supreme planet, Goloka Vrindavana. Inferior to that is in representation in the spiritual sky, and inferior to that is representation in the external energy, Devi Dhama. A mere drop of Krishna's sweetness can drown these three worlds. Goloka Vrindavana, Haridhama, Vaikuntha and Devidhama, the material world. Everywhere Krishna's beauty merges everyone in the ecstasy of transcendental bliss. Actually, the activities of Yoga Maya are absent in the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planets. The simply works in the supreme planet Goloka Vrindavana, and she works to manifest the activities of Krishna when he descends to the material universe to please his innumerable devotees within the material world. Thus, a replica of the Goloka Vrindavana planet and the pastimes there is manifested on this planet on a specific track and land, Bhuma, Bhuma, no,
Bhauma
Bhuma
Vrindavana.
Vrindavana, the Vrindavana Dham on this planet. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So that only Trailokadishwara he is. He is the three loka, that is Goloka Vrindavana, Goloka Dhama, then Haridhama, that is Vaikuntha Lokas, and Devi Dhama. And in between is that spiritual sky. Spiritual sky is nothing but the Brahma Jyoti. That is that Upa they have written, the super impersonal Brahman manifestation. So yeah, the Yogamaya potency means what? That covers us, covers his real position. That is in Vaikuntha planets and in Goloka Vrindavana. Krishna is in his full manifestation. Everybody knows he is Krishna and he is loving, and everybody is in that kind of mood and situation, and they are situated that way. But when it comes to Devi Dhama, that is material energy, when he takes form as a human being, and that time the Yogamaya potency covers. And so Yashoda Krishna, everybody considered himself, Yashoda considers Krishna as her son because they are covered by the Yogamaya potency. What we have been covered is Mahamaya potency. That is, we have been subjugated by the Mahamaya, material energy. We have been controlled by the material energy. And so we are not able to surrender completely to the Supreme Lord. But a drop of that also, if we get, no, that is the ecstasy or the ecstatic love of Krishna, even if we relish even a drop, then we understand very clearly that we are not part of this material world, but we belong to the spiritual world. Just that we are not ready to put our energy even to receive that drop. And so we are still entangled and engulfed in this material world. But otherwise, even that one drop is sufficient to drown us into the transcendental bliss of Krishna's love. So it is so beautiful, actually. So one more verse we'll discuss, that is Shobha Mataji, and then Krishnamurti Prabhuji has something to ask, no? Shobha, what's the name Shobha Mataji? Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. What meter it is, Mataji?
Bhushana.
In which meter you have to?
I don't know.
हरि बोल दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी।
Yes.
भूषणेर भूषण अंग ताहे ललित त्रिभंगा सहारा उपरा बृहदानु नथना तरेचे नेत्रा नेत्रांत भाना तरद्रथा साधना संतना विंद्रे राधा गोपी गण माना। Translation by Professor Lila Prabhupada ki jai. Ornament here is the body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments. Enhancing the wonderful beauty of Krishna is his three curved style of standing. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and moves obliquely, acting like arrows of pierce the mind of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their mind becomes agitated. Hari Bol,
Beautiful.
Dandavat
So
Pranam.
they always exchange the sidelong glances with his gopi friends. And one beautiful example of this is when they were under the Govardhan hill, na? When that 7 days rainfall, that past time we know how Indra showered that torrents of rain, and Krishna sheltered entire Vrindavan Dham under the Govardhan hill. At that time, 7 days, all he was at that time, all the gopis for all 7 day and night, they were able to exchange their sidelong glances and relish they could drink the love of nectar of Krishna. And that only it is all his beauty. His eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. Something so much we cannot understand, but through Acharya, some little bit we can understand that it's the supreme happiness and supreme love, which something out of this world it is. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, the minds become agitated. These are the very deep aspects. With that, we stop here. And Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you had something you were asking in the beginning of the class. I can try to see what you are asking.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, are you audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Mataji, in Bhagavatam class morning 9:30 to 10:30 class, I asked a question regarding how we can able to visualize the Supreme Lord as a Anu and as a Vibhu. So he is the smaller and smallest and the bigger and the biggest. How we can visualize that in all respects? So that was the question of mine. So before starting before the classes, you are beginning the classes only, your kind self has told me we can't able to realize and visualize anything, because only the thing is we have to bow down to Krishna. Then only we can able to visualize all those things. After hearing almost all full class of this today, just a drop of the grace, if we, that itself is a great uh, what is that? Grace for us to be in the devotion.
Yes.
So I myself forget my question. So your kind self has explained like anything. We can't able. Yeah, your kind self has given an example also. If we go any dhamma, we can't able to explain everything as we have seen. Like that, this this supreme Lord's this great this opulence.
Opulence is beauty. Everything we cannot perceive on. It's not able. It just does not enter because we have very limited features actually.
Yes,
And
Mataji.
one thing what I have understood is, or what is for me, what is takeaway is the process which Prabhupada has given us. If we are little sincere in practicing that, that is when it comes to chanting or whatever in small things, and be humble, be grateful. These are the qualities. These things, if we include in our day-to-day life, no, we go very much ahead. We don't have to understand the spiritual world, but when we are living in this world, we feel so much free from inside. We feel so much different the world, and we are not so much affected by the world outside, and so much of mental peace we get. And we think as the end it doesn't mind for us that somebody tells something, or that happiness what we experience the day to day life is only immense. That's only immense. That when we increase when we deepen our Krishna consciousness now, first thing is we are living very peacefully. We feel so peaceful actually. So then automatically everything else will start entering in. Everything is not entering in because we have so much of blockage. That blockage, if we clear, no, then it's just a highway actually after that. You have to just cross over, that's all. There is no blockage after that. So point is we need to very scrutinizingly follow the process given by Srila Prabhupada in all aspects. Every day it's a challenge. It's like swimming upstream. So if we remain, then by gravitational force we come down. Consciously, if we start swimming consciously for upward stream swimming, we should be conscious all the time. So Krishna consciousness, we really need to be conscious. We need to put that effort. But when you constantly put that effort, then automatically it sinks in. Then it is not like a pressure initially, because we are into so many things. For us, Krishna consciousness becomes too much as a, it's like a, it's an external thought for us. But when we are practicing and doing it very nicely, sincerely, day in day out, then automatically it becomes very smooth. Still we should be conscious that we are swimming upward, and if we stop, then naturally we go down. That is our situation actually in this material world. But the entire struggle becomes very blissful experience when we are following the path. This is my little understanding through the whole thing. But big things that Goloka Vrindavan ka size and exactly how is Devi Dhama, that and all is only theory for me also. Means it's not that something we have seen or able to understand. But we understand that he's unlimited, and Prabhupada has given us the path to be in that part. We can be a part in that unlimited. It's just not for us a theory. We can always experience also. That process has been given to us. That much is there. Sorry for talking big words. Thank you very much.
Mataji, to
Yeah.
be frank, so we are all blessed by you people, Mataji. You are
Not like
taking
that.
us.
Prabhupada is there now.
Of course, I
Prabhupada.
do. So you are all the instruments of Prabhupada, and you are taking us. You know the goal, and we are dragging us towards the goal. That's why we are grateful to you,
We
Mataji.
are helping each other. If you are not there, with whom, we'll talk to the walls only. So we are all helping each other. Somehow we have to cross over. That's all is our goal. Together. We go together actually. Thank you. Dandavats.
Thank you, Mataji.
Rangas
Very
Shri
well you
Chaitanya
explained very
Charitamrita
well.
ki jai. Vancha
Thank you, Mataji.
kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayavacha
जय
patithanam pavan. Nanda Guru Vaishnava. Haribo.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Explained so
Dandavats.
well. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Dandavat
Mataji.
pranam, Mataji. Thank you.
Haribo.